On top of the morning to each and every one this morning, or afternoon, or evening, or night, wherever in the world or the globe you are watching from. Hope you and your family is having a wonderful morning or day wherever you are. Yes, as you could see, I'm heading to work. They said topic of the day is Jimmy Kimmel cancer. So they suspend Jimmy Kimmel indefinite of ABC, which is Disney owned ABC. So people start to come out and say they are canceling their subscription with Hulu, Disney, and all of the network that Disney owns. Yep. So comedian can't say anything what they want anymore. It's not freedom of speech anymore. Yep. If you say what they don't want to hear, then they're gonna cancel you. Yep. So they said suspend Jimmy Kimmel to silence him. He run too much jokes against the president and against the conservative. You know, they're trying to say he's a leftist. He's on the left side. So talk serious. But hey, as a comedian, you can't just say anything anymore. Cancel culture is real, and they cancel him. Yes, so Jimmy Kimmel not working on the Tonight Show anymore. Yep, and the president have a field day out of it. President says several more comedian or nightly show need to go because you know when you stay up late and watch those talk show, then you'll have a field day. You'll laugh to bed, and that's what the late night show is all about. You laugh to bed because they're comedians. They're comedic. So whatever happened in the day, that's what they discuss in the night before you go to bed. And most of the time they find it very comical, but at the same time it's very serious. But people will be laughing while the president and other will take it serious because the truth offend. And the truth will cut your bones, cut through flesh, and cut your bone. That's what the truth does. Because if he wasn't speaking any truth, then they would want him to be suspended or canceled. And that's what happened. So your First Amendment right, which is the freedom of speech, you don't have that anymore. And see, in America, you don't have freedom of speech anymore. You're gonna be censored. And that's where the culture is going right now. Cancel culture. And for a comedian to just cut off the ear like that, yeah, that means it's more serious than we think or thought of what we see on the surface. Maybe there's a volcano underneath bubbling up, ready to explode. Because too much is happening in the news or in the media for a comedian to be suspended or to be canceled. And that's what we're seeing. Hey, good morning. Clark. Yes, I'm doing that. Angie. Nice. In America, the freedom of speech, which is your First Amendment right, you can't talk as you have a mind anymore. And the Second Amendment right, which is the right to bear arms. And we see we're in Philadelphia, 4 police lose his life or their life. So gun violence is gonna high in America. But we don't talk about that. We talk about cancel culture. And when we look, we have all this mass shooting, but we don't discuss that. But we tend to fire somebody for his First Amendment. But we're living in a time like now. For a moment like this, a moment in time where cancel culture is real. And we can see it every day in the news. The more you watch the news, the more depressing it's become. Because before you go to bed in the night, you have all these comedians and late night show giving jokes before you go to bed. So you go to bed smiling, and you get up with a smile on your face. That's all you do. You turn on your TV again, and then you will get the joke of the day. Because it's not that serious. Because if it was that serious, then hey, they would have suspend or fire all of them long time. But because people find it so comedic, that's why they hey, lighten up. But the cancel culture is real. And the president is calling for all the other ones to be suspended or fired come off the air. So freedom of speech in America is not free anymore. You can't say what you want anymore. There's a censorship going around to censor all the comedians. They were having a field day out of it last night. Watching all those from the Cup Beer show. Yep. Some of them was even making fun. Said, okay, Mr. President, I won't say nothing bad about you anymore. And it was so surreal. So the joke of the day right now is Jimmy Kimmel is off the air. Disney suspended indefinitely. A lot of people are saying they're gonna cancel Disney. But Disney is a big brand and it's a big network. So they say independent companies not independent anymore because they're supposed to stay away from politics, but it's not like that. The president was laughing because he have the laugh joke or the laugh. Because Jimmy Kimmel always beating the president with his joke. Yep. But we have more cancel culture to come. More people gonna be suspended indefinitely, and a lot of them gonna have to start a YouTube channel, just like how MSNBC get rid of Joy Reid and she starts her podcast. But your First Amendment right, which is the freedom of speech, Second Amendment right, which is to bear arms, those are two that going away slowly but surely. So you can't say what coming out your mouth anymore, or what on the tip of your finger. Yes, I used to love it when people protest in the street and say, yes, my freedom of speech, my First Amendment right. Then when people come out and protest like, Joe Biden and the Democrat want to take away our Second Amendment right, which is our right to bear arms. And nobody go on the air and said, okay, cancel these comedians because they're making fun of Joe Biden and his administration. But yes, you can't talk bad about the U.S. president, which is Donald J. Trump. If you talk bad about him, then hey. So that's the culture in America. But yeah, we see where mass shooting at a high in America. They said they unalived like 4 police in Philadelphia a couple days ago. I don't know. They need better gun control in America. But who am I to talk about that? It's only getting scarier by the second. Road rage, carry a lot of that. Somebody cut you off, you feel the need to like, okay, let's shoot up that car. You don't know who is in that car. And you shoot into the car, then that person have a little child in the back. That little child get bullet. Next thing, that child passed away. Just like in Georgia where they have the riot a couple of years ago. That a mother was driving through the protest. A guy shoot into the car, and the mother, 10-year-old or 8-year-old, was in the back of the car, and she got shot. She died. Now they're giving the guy 54 years to life. He was just what, 20 or 21? Yeah, it was a young guy. So putting the guns in the hands of a lunatic, then bad things will happen. Of accident. Somebody wasn't paying attention. And that's what happened. Now these young guys, every day you see them in the street, they have an extra clip. I was like, it's like they're prepared for a war. But we gotta be our brothers and sisters keeper. We can talk and laugh, which we need to. The job already stressful. You're living a stressful life, so them say jokes help the body, mind, and soul. Because you can laugh at your own pain. and laugh at your own jokes. But that culture is not anymore. As Ryan Nunes said, Jimmy has the freedom of speech to say what he wants on his own network. So you said that's why they should censor him so he could have his own network? Yeah? But do you not know that they have the writers? So the writers who write it. And they have to get approved by the network in order to broadcast it. Because you know the show, it may air at 11 o'clock, but they already write the jokes from 4 or 5 o'clock. Or, so it's not when you see it, you think it's live. It's not live. They already write the jokes. Because the joke don't write right away and set. Like, okay, then the show gonna air 12 o'clock. So 12 o'clock tonight, yeah, we gonna write the script. Script already right. So that's all he do is just reading from a teleprompter. If you ever been to a studio, then you would know. So somebody have to approve it for him to come on the air. And, but the cancel culture is real in America, and that's what is happening. So Jimmy Kimmel has been suspended by ABC, which is owned by Disney. And people are outraged about it. So how dare Disney to do that? We're gonna cancel our subscription with Disney and ESPN Plus and Hulu and yeah. So if you're just getting up this morning or this afternoon or this evening or this tonight, wherever you're watching from, yeah. The story of the day: Jimmy Kimmel gets suspended indefinitely by the network that he was on, coming on in the late night hours to give you jokes for you to go to bed. So they're having a field day out of it. Last night, most of the comedians they were praising the president. Okay, Mr. President, I won't talk nothing bad about you and your administration anymore. Yes. Hey, James, blessings to you and your family, my brother. Wherever you're watching from, hope you're having yourself a wonderful morning. I'm in America. Or wherever you're watching from, blessing to you and your family, my brother. Yeah, we all know that, but before it air, they have to fine comb it. James, we know that the FCC have rules and regulation, but at the same time, before it air, they have to go through and fine comb it. It's not just air like that. Because remember, it's not broadcasting live. And if it's not broadcasting live, that means they go through it already. Because remember, they have to go through it. That's why they have the writers. They write the script, then they go over it. Yeah. But your freedom of speech in America is going away slowly but surely. Yep. You see where they have in benefit concert for a lot of the farmers in the Midwest, where they're losing millions or billions of dollars every day because of tariff. So if you used to send your crop overseas, a lot of countries not taking it. Yeah. And the grants that the farmer used to get, they're not getting it anymore. So that's what we need to talk about. You go to the store now, or the market, you're paying 2 times the amount what you used to pay. But it's only gonna get worse. It's inflation is getting higher, more seller than buyer. Gas gone up to 309. And it was just 279 last night. So 30 cents added to gas. And I didn't see any hurricane in the Gulf. Normally when they have disruption in the Gulf, then the price of oil get higher because they can't work that day. But if you're just watching live this morning, we are talking about the cancel culture in America, which is your freedom of speech, which is your First Amendment rights. Jimmy Kimmel got suspended indefinitely. When you're driving on the street, you gotta look as people just walk out in front of the vehicle. They don't wait till you're clear. They just, yes, so they canceled Jimmy Kimmel indefinitely, and ABC, which is owned by Disney. So let us their subscriber they are losing. Exactly when anything you want by Jimmy Kimmel has the freedom of speech to say whatever you want outside of work, but not on the network. Hey Roy, if you know anything about those news media outlets, whatever he said, they have to look through it before they aired it. Yeah. But I think what happened, too much of the president picture be showing with the other guy who they're asking to release the file on. If you ask to release that file, then hey, you're getting into trouble. Yep. You can't be showing picture with the president with the other guy. President not having none of that. President said that's a serious joke. You gotta start running that joke. And that everybody who running that joke they losing their job. And as you could see, so freedom of speech in America, which is your First Amendment right, is not free anymore. There are consequences to it. And the consequence to it, you lose your job. Just like Jimmy Kimmel do. He lose his job. Yep. Because it's not Jimmy Kimmel alone gonna lose his job. You're gonna have everybody who unset. So it's not gonna just affect one person. gonna affect a lot of them. Because you're gonna have the writers, you're gonna have all those people that's on the set. Yeah, that's why it's a set. It comes with a lot of workers. From behind the scene to the cameraman, yeah. And if he bring his team there, then hey. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, or good night, wherever you're watching from. Hoping you're having yourself a blessed day. As you could see, I'm heading to work. It was his lowest rating, but you got to blame someone. See if you're not happy. They shouldn't play it. His ratings was low. Truly surprised. You say his rating was low. I don't know. I don't really watch news like that because I think most of the time his news is just depressing. But yeah, if you said so, his ratings was low and the network terminated him. I don't think they'd suspend him if his ratings was low. They'll just cancel his show. Yeah, and then they'll have a replacement for him right away. So you're saying that there's more to it than what we hear or see. What's the time now? 7:08. The police they start to come out earlier. Every morning they have to do the routine where they stop the traffic for the prisoners or for people who go into court. Blessings to you and your family this morning. It's a wonderful day to be alive and well, able to move about freely. And the interesting topic of the day is Jimmy Kimmel get cancelled or suspended indefinitely. So wherever in America you are, hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. Hope you're drinking yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Say one cup of coffee and then I go. Well, I'm having some ginger tea. I'm from Jamaica and we love our natural tea. So I boil the ginger. So yes, I'm having some ginger tea. So something warm is good for the body when you get up in the morning. Hey James, blessings to you, my brother. Wherever you're watching from. And I'll be tuning in today for the World Championship. 200-meter male and female today. Yes, it's gonna be one of the ages, or one for the ages. With Melissa Jefferson Wooden up against Sherika Jackson of Jamaica, and Noel Lyle of America up against Brian Lavelle of Jamaica and Tobago of Botswana. So yes, we are gonna be watching. Yes, I think it's gonna come on at 10 something if you're in America, some part of America. Yeah. So we'll be staying tuned for that. And too much of the jokes of Jimmy Kimmel get cancelled or suspended indefinitely or indefinite. But wherever you're watching from this morning or afternoon or night, hope you are blessed and filled with grace. Yes, because everything that is happening around us and we're still alive and well, able to move about freely, because the Creator give us strength. And this is where I said so long, and we do it again this evening. Blessings, more love, more life, more health, more wealth, and more strength. And whatever you do, just remember to keep the faith, because God is great. Strength and courage of each and every one this morning who watch the live wherever you're watching from. Blessings, 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 and more blessings to you and your family. So long until we meet again. I'm out like a light bulb.